Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, your loving support, always. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to mention if the video is too fast for you on any of them, in the description box, there's a link, 2-minute video, how to slow down the speed of the video, and also to turn your closed caption on. So the stitches I'm calling will be written down here. You can pause, read, and take notes. I don't write patterns. I get asked that a lot. For the most times, I use 2.75 hooks, depending upon the thread I'm using, 3.5, or the pattern that I want to create to go bigger or not. And that's what you should do. For people that have tight stitch, use a size of hook bigger or 2 size bigger. And for people that have a loose stitch, you should go a little bit 1 or 2 size smaller. So a small one to tuck in loose ends and a pair of scissors. I do have a private crochet group that you're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile. Also follow me on my crochet page on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're stuck on any projects, you could always message me through there. I'd like to mention that a lot of you sometimes ask me about my threads. These are Portugal threads. I am in Europe. They're 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. And they sell, it's $12, making the exchange, $12, 100 grams, which are balls like this. Okay, it's about 300 to 325 yards. Minimum of order of 6 balls. Okay, so we're going to get started. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It's free of charge. You don't pay for that, and it helps us creators tremendously. And if you watch the video, and if you're not a creator or don't crochet, because I know some of you don't but love to watch my videos, please do give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if there is short commercials, just watch the little small commercials. I don't want you to be wasting your time in 5-10 minute commercial, but it does help the channel again itself. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you so much. And for the women that have been donating, for the women in need of thread, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for your tips also, thank you so much. And for the ones that are considering to do so to help the women in need of thread, please consider so. My PayPal account is in the description box also. If you want to give it through there, if you want to give it through the little thank you bag underneath the video, you can. The only difference is that YouTube takes 30% of that money that you're donating. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone. So I almost have, well, I have one left that I need to add on here. Now, if I skip only 3 and go into the 4th, I'm going to have extra. And I don't want to have extra because I need to connect here on the corner. So just before I close in the before last flower, instead of skipping the 4, I'm going to skip 5. Okay? So 1 chain. So instead of skipping 4, I'm skipping 5 spaces. Or I should say skip 4 going to your 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. Okay, so skip 4 and going to your 5th, or else we won't arrive properly at the edge. Okay, so continue on again doing your side here, and then we're going to attach the last square, and on the last square we'll be skipping 4 going into the 5th in order for us to get it in properly. And like I said, you know, these things are just, you know, sometimes they end up perfect and sometimes they don't. I don't do counts, so I go with the flow. And no issues, no biggie. It doesn't change anything on the pattern at all. Everything comes together just the same. So 1 chain and continue to do your last square. Okay, so I'll meet you right at the edge there. Okay, so ready to do my 2nd corner here. I'm going to skip 4, going to my 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, into my 5th. And doing this all the way to the end of this side here, so we can arrive properly at the other flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, into my 5th. So skipping 1, 2, 3, 4 into my 5th. Once we have it blocked, everything comes together, so don't stress over it. I'm going to come directly, so I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm coming directly inside of that middle. I'm going to continue the middle, of course, of the other square. I'm going to continue to do my corner, coming behind, single into, so we're connecting the squares now, the last one. Okay. Now, of course, we didn't complete here, so we're not connecting that 3 double crochet, right? Because that's part of the corner here. We'll only do it when we come around to it. So 2 chain and complete your corner here. We'll complete this one when we get to it, once we go around this row. So we're going to complete this corner of the square, 1 chain, and then we're just going to complete all of the squares here like that to complete the square, right? 1 chain, coming into the second corner, we're going to close this corner up of the square. So 3 double crochet. I'm going to come, I'm going to do 1 chain actually, and I'm going to come right on the connecting, and then with a single, and then going directly into the next square already. So we're closing up the corners. Okay. So I did 1 chain, I've closed with a single here and went completely in. So let me just show you what it looks like. The connecting. So just bring it up a little bit more, because I know it's hard for you guys to see. So it doesn't change anything. And once we block the pattern, okay, with a little bit of water spray, or I use laundry softener in the little bottle, and spray it, and then just stretch it, and everything comes full together. So we're going to do that exactly what we just did, all the way around the same way, and then I'll meet you at the end. And as you can see here, this really doesn't change anything on the pattern once it's blocked and stayed completely together. Okay, so I believe I have 21 flowers if I'm not mistaken, but everything will be in the description box right from the beginning. You can check out in the description box how many flowers, because you will need to create them before you start the pattern, so you can just keep going and add them on, right? Okay, so basically we're completing the corners, and we're just going to continue 1 chain, 3 double crochet, 1 chain, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 1 chain. We're going to attach it right here with a single, and go directly inside of the other space and complete that corner. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the last one. We need to connect them all together. So I'm going to do a half double crochet. So I'm going to come into the first one here, and I'm not closing in. And then I'm coming into the next one. And now I'm going to close them all together. Just like that. I'm going to come back in this middle here with a single, chain 2. Coming back in again, I'm creating 2 double crochets right in between squares. Chain 2. If you wanted to leave the pattern like this itself without doing anything else, you could just close with single crochets all the way around. I'm coming in my last double crochet here. So I'm skipping these 2, creating 2 double crochet. Chain 2. Coming into the first one here, creating 2 double crochet. We need to have 7 groups of these 2 double crochet. I'm coming right in the center here. 2 double crochet. 2 chain. Coming on this one here, skipping these 2. 2 double crochet. Chain 2. Coming on the first one here also. 2 double crochet, chain 2, and back into the center of both squares. 1, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All you have to do is just look at it a few times where you've done your groups on the next ones. Once you're used to it, you won't even have to look. Chain 2. Skip the 2. So it's just a repeat. We're going to do this all the way around. This is preparing for the next row will be the crocodile stitch. 2 chain into the first one. 2 double crochet, 2 chain. We're right on the center here of the square. 1, 2, chain 2. Coming on the first one, or the last one here of the group, I should say. Middle, skip 2 into the next one, 2 chain into the first one, 2 chain into the middle. It's the middle of the flower. And basically we're just repeating here what we did here, okay? 2, 1, and 2. Chain 2 into the center between the squares. So we have the squares here, we have the last one, and we have this one. Okay, so then we have the first one, and again this one. And then we have right in the center. So that's all you have to remember. Just look at it and continue from there. And I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. I have 126 groups of 2 double crochet. You have to cut your thread. You have to start without being attached to the pattern. Now we have the 2 groups, or the group of 2 in between the squares. I'm going to start just before. You can start anywhere, but it has to be before that connection of the squares, okay? I'm going to come the one just before, and I'm going to close in the middle here on the bottom, a single. Oops. Yes, it gets a little bit tight, but only to start off, right? That first stitch is always something else. Okay, so single. We're going to work 5 double crochets on this double crochet going sideways. So that means you have to hook it from here and out here and work 5 double crochets. Once we work the 5 double crochets, we're going to do 1 chain, and then we're going to work 5 double crochets on this side again. Okay, that's how we proceed with the crocodile stitch. So I'm going to just pull with my nail. Thank God for nails at this moment, right? And move the back stitching out of the way because we don't want to grab any loops back there and get it stuck here. We can't have any loops back here. See this chain, we cannot have it stuck in. Well, this looks awful. I'll fix it after. So that's my second double crochet. I'm going to keep pulling on this. It's going to make it easier. 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. Okay, 1 chain. I'm going to work this side. This side is always easier. You can turn your pattern, bend your pattern, much easier to work it out. Going into my second double crochet, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so make sure you don't grab any of these chains back here into that. Okay, so I have my first crocodile stitch done. So we're always going to alternate one crocodile stitch coming in between and in, and a single, and then again work that crocodile stitch here, doing your 5 double crochets. Now, like I said, it's always harder to get this side. The other side goes faster, but once you get the hang of it, you're good to go. So I have 3, 4, and 5. 1 chain. Working on this one now. Okay, make sure you don't grab any of the stitches back there. Bend your pattern if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then again repeat the same thing. So 1 crocodile stitch, 1 single on the next group. Okay, 1 crocodile stitch, and then single on the next group. Crocodile stitch, and then single. Crocodile stitch, and then single. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. Next row will be the same thing. The difference is we're going to alternate. Crocodile stitch will be between these two. And then the 2 double crochet groups will be in the center of this crocodile stitch, right behind it. So just showing you to let you know. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Just make sure that when you're doing your crocodile stitch, especially on this side, it's very common mistake to grab the chain back here. You must move it out of the way, find a way to maneuver it, make it easier on you. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm just holding it with my nail back there, 1 chain space, and then come into this one. Turn your pattern. Much easier to work this side. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then coming in to the center between the 2 double crochets, single. Okay, so all your other stitches, they stay back here. We need them for the next row. So that's why you must not lock them in or you'll have problems on the next row. Make sure that each time you're doing it, that you see that you do have your chains back here and your 2 groups chains, and that's the 2 chain stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm on my last crocodile stitch. This is where we started that single, if you remember. So I'm going to come in it with a slip stitch. We need to cut and restart again with another thread. So I'm just going to tuck these back here. I'm even going to make a knot. Should have left this a little bit longer, the first one we started, so we can knot them both back here to make sure that nothing comes apart. Okay, so I'm just going to make a knot, 2 knots on them and then tuck in my little loose ends. This way we're sure that after all this hard work, we don't get any surprise, especially when you're going to put them to wash and things like that, right? Better be safe than sorry. Okay, so just tuck in your little loose end. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to leave again a little bit of thread just so I can make a knot at the end. When I finish this row, we're going to do the crocodile stitch again, but we're doing the contrary. We're going to do a crocodile stitch in here. And where we have the crocodile stitch, we have those the two groups we worked on inside of the middle, which is very simple. That's what we're going to do, the two double crochet group again. Okay, so coming pretty much anywhere here. On top of the double crochet where we have the groups, coming in with the single and 2 chain. Again, on my other one, we're building those groups so we can do the second row of the crocodile stitch, 2 chain. So in the middle here, doing 2 double crochet. We'll have the same amount, I believe it was 126 groups, 2 chain space into where we have the 2 double crochets here. I'm going to do this all the way around, 2 chain behind the crocodile stitch. We have that little space there right between it. Okay, and we continue to build these groups again all the way around so we can do the second row of the crocodile stitch. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much closed in with a slip stitch, cut in my thread, tucked everything away. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start with a single right behind the crocodile stitch, and in here we'll work the 5 double crochets on this side and the 5 double crochets on the other side. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you start on the pattern as long as you start behind the crocodile stitch. Okay, so single, of course I never learned my lesson. I always tighten up my stitch too much, especially at the beginning. I shouldn't do that. Give it a little bit of loose stitch and then I can tighten it up. Okay, so I've done my single in between as we've been doing, and now I'm going to come and work inside of my double crochet. Try to grab my thread here so we don't get it stuck behind it. And I'm doing only 2 rows of this, so thank God this is the last row of the crocodile stitch. If you want to go bigger, you can increase more. It does take a bit of work to do this, but it's gorgeous at the end, right? So 2, 4, 5, 1 chain. So we're just going to repeat the same thing as we did. And then 5 double crochets on this side too. Three, 4, and 5. So it stays behind it. Okay, then we're going to come in and again single. So you know your singles now are behind the crocodile stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. It's just a repeat now. Okay. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to touch base with you because the next row is coming up and before you go any further. So you'll be doing the shells. Okay, these 3 shells 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet, and front post double crochet. Okay, the thing is, you have to make sure you have even numbers of these shells, or you'll be in trouble up here when we get here. Okay, so in my case, I have 62. In case for some reason you made a mistake somewhere and you're off, you have 63 or 61. What you can do is when you're when you're doing a shell, you can jump automatically. Okay, do your shell. All right, and I would suggest for you to do your shell. Example, do the shell instead of doing your cinch. Either you increase or you decrease. You got to make sure that you do have even numbers of shell. So 62, 64, 66, 60, it doesn't matter. Okay, just make sure that, or you will have problems up here. It had happened to me on the other centerpiece that I did, and I've learned my lesson. Okay, because sometimes when we're doing this, we might skip the groups somehow, and we want to make sure that we don't run into the same mistake. So you can just automatically jump. So if you're doing example, I'm going to re-explain that again. If you're doing, if you're missing, of course, once you do the shell, just jump directly from here, okay? And you can just do that one double crochet. So you're jumping all of this. You won't even see it because it pulls automatically into here, okay? And then you just do that one double crochet. So you're cutting a space completely out to have your even number, or you will have to make an adjustment and make an increase, okay? But I would suggest that you should decrease. So do your shell, and because you have already a double crochet here, just skip one completely and just go over and do your double crochet straight from here to here, because now it's stretched out because we did a shell. But if you know, when you're jumping, you can't even see it because basically this pretty much is right behind it, and this goes automatically into position here like that. Okay, so you won't even see it. Now it's noticeable because you're seeing me doing this, but you won't see it once you do it if you are stuck that you don't have even numbers of shell. I will repeat, I have 62 shells. Okay, so you can continue on, and then make sure that that you have. The best thing too is before you even start your shell, you can see how the shells are pretty much done in one space here, and then double crochet and then shell, then double crochet and then shell. You can count your space, and if you need to put markers, then go ahead to count how many you have to do shells. And from there, already on this, you can take out, that's another option there, you can take out 2 of these and just jump. Okay, so at least you know you'll be okay. All right. Okay, everyone. So I've cut my thread. So I a slip stitch on the very first one we did. I've cut my thread. Now, where we have the, let's call it the shell, okay? Just to cut it short, that crocodile thing. So right behind it, well, behind it, the 2 chain that we have. So we have the group, right? And the 2 chains on each side. So I'm going to come on this one here. You can start anywhere in the pattern as long as you start right after on the 2 chain, right after the shell here. Okay, single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. Okay, I'm going to come directly into the next 2 chain right after the group, and we're going to build shells of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. I'm going to try to hide this thread here, it makes it easier. So 1, 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet in the same space. This whole row will be like this. So we'll have shell, and 1 double crochet, coming into the next 2 chain space, 1 double crochet, next 2 chain space, shell of 3, double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Okay, I'll just show you quick here on this one what we're doing here, especially for people that are just getting to know the pattern. So basically we are doing shell, no, I'll put it too high, and 1 double crochet, shell, 1 double crochet. We're going to, this is front post double crochet, so we're coming from here and closing in, doing double crochet. But I'll meet you there for some of you that don't know how to do the front post yet. But we're doing 1, 2, 3 rows of shells, and these 2 are front post double crochet. So we are on the first one here, and then we have 2 more rows to do after this row that we're doing. Okay, so continue yours, and I'll meet you at the end, and then I'll show you for a lot of you that don't know what the front post is. So coming in, doing double crochet in the next 2 chain, we're doing the shell. Okay, so 1 double crochet, shell, 1 double crochet, shell, 1 double crochet, shell, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've arrived at the end. I'm going to close in with a slip stitch. I have my single and my 2 chains, so I'm going to close it here with a slip stitch. Okay, and I'm going to do the walk with a slip stitch. I call it the walk to the center of this shell and create my shell again, single, 2 chain. So we're just going to repeat shell over shell, this row and the next row. It's 3 rows total. So very simple. And here we're going to do front post, double crochet. And the next row, the same thing. We'll be doing that front post, double crochet. So I'm going to continue mine. And the next row also, there's no need to keep recording. It's just a repeat. These 3 rows are just repeats. So you know on the next row, you're going to do shell over shell and front post. Again, come in the side and double crochet front post. Okay, so this row and the next row. I'll meet you at the end of the next row, and we're almost at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in with slip stitch. Now I've had my 3 rows done, my front posts. I've closed in with slip stitch on my first double crochet of the shell. I'm coming into the second one and doing a single. One shell will be with V's. Okay, so directly from the, we're only working on the middle double crochet. So single, directly, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Coming back in, double crochet. So I have a V. We're always going to have a shell with a V, and the other one is just chain stitch. So coming directly again into the middle of the other double crochet. So single, double crochet, 4 chain, double crochet, single. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 chain, coming directly, working only on the middle double crochet. 1, 2, 3 chain, coming directly into the middle double crochet. 1, 2, 3 chain, and again into the middle. So always one shell will be 3 chain, single, 3 chain, single, always working on the middle double crochet, 3 chain, single. And now this next shell will be the V again. So we alternate between V and chains. Okay, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4 chain coming in, double crochet. So I have my V coming in again on the middle one, single, 1, 2, 3 chain in the middle double crochet, single, 1, 2, 3 chain in the middle double crochet, single. Oops, well, we're doing it. Double crochet, I should say. No, I was right. Oh my God, I confused myself. 1, 2, 3. We had the V. We have to do the chains. I confuse myself sometimes. Forgive me. I guess I must be tired. 3 chain. And again, now this one will be the V. Okay, I'll show you in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. And double crochet directly with the single in the middle double crochet. So we always alternate. So we started with a V, 3 chain, single, 3 chain, single, 3 chain, single, double crochet. We have the V. So chains V, chains V. Okay, all the way like that, all the way around. And I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone. So I've reached the end, and I don't want to close it like that. I'm going to close on the single here with half double crochet. Okay. I'm going to come in directly on my V, and I'm going to do 10 double crochets. Okay, inside of that V. I've done my 10 double crochets. I'm coming where I have the 3 chain with a single. One, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to come not only on the chain here, but inside of this shell and close up single. 1, 2, 3 chain. Coming back in where I have the single here just before the V with a single, and then continue to do your 10 double crochets again. I've done my 10 double crochets again. It's always a repeat. Single, 1, 2, 3 chain, and take both here, both of the chain 2 from the shell and the 3 that we did. Close it in with a single. 1, 2, 3, into the chain again, single. So we're going to end up with 2 loops there, okay? And then we're going, did I do this right? Yeah, I made a mistake here. We're not supposed to do single here. We're just going to go directly in, I believe. Yes, I made a mistake here. We don't do any singles here on single. We go directly after the so come in the chain with single, and then directly into your V and do your 10 double crochets. So 10 double crochets, single on your chain 3, then chain 3, single, grabbing both of the chains here, chain 3, single, and then directly. And again, you do your 10 double crochet. So done my 10 double crochet, single directly, 1, 2, 3 chain, grab the middle with single, 1, 2, 3 chain into the middle here of this chain, and then again directly into the V, creating those 10 double crochets. So we're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. And I'll come back to you at the end of this row. Okay. Okay, everyone. So reaching the end, I did my single, which I have one loop, and I'm supposed to hook it here with the 3 chain to have the second loop, right? Because it's 2 loops on this row, but I'm not going to do that. I need to end up in the middle. So I'm going to come here where I have that single, where we started off, and I'm going to do half double crochet. So I can be at the center of this loop here, and I'm going to do a single on it. I'm going to come on this first double crochet, and I'm going to do back post with double crochet. That's only for my very first one. 1 chain. I'm going to do triple from here on. So the first one is normal double crochet, and the last one. All of the other ones are triple crochet doing back posts. Okay. And so remembering we had 2 loops, right? And we have 2 loops here. Okay. So now we are going to do 1 chain, triple, doing back posts only. So we're going to have the same amount of double crochets here, which is 10, but the first one is normal double crochet and the last one, and all 8 of them will be triple. Okay, 1 chain space, back post, 1 chain, triple, back post, 1 chain, triple, back post. So we have a normal double crochet, the very first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triples. Now we're going to do the normal back post double crochet. So the first one is double crochet and the last one. I'm going to come directly inside of the first loop with a single. 1, 2, and 3 into the second loop, single, and then directly again, normal back double crochet, back post, 1 chain, and then the other ones are triple, so it's just a repeat now. Okay, so you roll twice on your hook, you have 3 loops on your hook, take out 2, and the last 2, 1 chain space, take out 2, and the last 2. So back posts, 8 triples, and 2 normal double crochet, the first and the last. Okay, so I have 1 more to do. Normal double crochet on the last one. Come directly into the first loop with a single. 1, 2, and 3 into the next loop. That means it's going to leave you 1 loop here in between them, and then restart all over again. Normal double crochet, 1 chain. We're heading to the last row on the next one, and then we're done. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. We have 10 total. Normal double crochet, 8 triple, 1 chain space, back loops only, and 1 normal double crochet at the very last one. Okay, one loop in between. So you go directly into the first loop with a single, 3 chain, single. Go directly back, post with normal double crochet, 1 chain, then triples. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I'm at the end. I'm on my last 3 chain. I'm going to come where we did that single, remember? The first single we did, and I'm going to close it in with slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to come directly inside of my, I thought this was the last row. It's not the one we just finished doing. We do have this one too, and another row. Okay, so we have 2 rows left, this one and the next one, which will be the last one, the next one. So I come in between the 2 double crochets here. So 1 double crochet normal and the triple with a single. I'm going to do 1, 2 chain coming into the next one, single, 1, 2 chain coming into the next one, 1, 2 chain, always with single, 1, 2 chain. Very simple, very fast this row, thank God. 1, 2 chain. I was almost forgetting about this one. 1, 2 chain. We're supposed to have 8 loops on the end once we finish doing this. Of course, my threads are everywhere and it's getting heavier and bigger, so makes it harder to work. Okay, so we're almost on the last one. 1, 2 chain and the last space here, working in between them. So we came in with a single in between the first one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops of 3 chain. Going directly on that 3 chain space, we have that 1 loop left. We have in between them with a single. And then again, coming directly in between the first and the second with single, 2 chain, and just repeat this all the way around. That's why it's fast. 2 chain, single in between them, creating those 8 loops again. Okay. And of course, all of these little details gives the beauty to the pattern, right? So I've created my 8 little loops again, coming in that 3 chain space we have in between the motifs with single directly again, and proceed the same way. Just make sure you have 2 chain between them and single. We're working inside of the triples here. I'll meet you at the end. You can cut your thread if you're changing colors, of course, which you should, because that's what gives the beauty of the pattern. And I'm most definitely going to come with the lime green because we have enough blue going on there, okay? Okay, everyone, so I'm pretty much done. Going to do now the last row. I'm coming in with that lime green. And you can start pretty much on any of them. I'm just going to grab one here. So I'm going to come inside where we have those 2 chains that we've done, and we're going to do 2 singles. 1, 2. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. We're doing peacocks, but I'm not coming in the first thing that we closed here. I'm coming in between the singles we did with a single. I think it looks nicer this way. Single and single, and then again chain 3 in between with the single. We're going to do 3 peacocks on one side, and then on the center we'll have 6 chain, and on the other side we'll have 3 peacocks also. 1, 2, 3, single. So we have 3 peacocks on this side already. 1, 2 singles. I'm going to do chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to close this in as a normal peacock on the first stitch here. with a slip stitch. Coming in again on the next one, 1, 2 singles, 1, 2, 3, and the 3 picots on this side. Okay, so very simple. Again, 1, 2 singles, 1, 2, 3. We're working on those little loops, closing my picots on the singles, 1, 2 singles, 1, 2, 3, in between the picots, the singles I should say, I'm closing in. Coming in my last one, 1, 2. Now on the last one, I'm not doing picots, okay? Now, down here we have the 3 singles we did when we did the 3 chain, single, 3 chain, single. Remember we did a single in the middle of the shells. So it's the row right below the 10 double crochets. This is where we're going to work. We're going to turn 3 times on our hook. That means we'll have 4 loops on our hook. I think that's called double triple if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to call out the wrong stitch name. I'm still learning how to call these codes out. Take out once, twice, 3 times. I'm not going to complete it all the way. Incomplete. And now come on to the last. So we leave the middle single alone. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to close it all together. And coming in the first loop again and restart again. 2 singles. And repeat what we just did. 1, 2, 3. And do your picot. 2 singles on the little 2 chain loops. 1, 2, 3. Picot. And again, 1, 2, 1. Okay, everyone. So remembering 3 picots on one side, 2 singles, 6 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to close in where we've closed off here on the second with a slip stitch. Coming into the next one, 2 singles again. 1, 2, 3. And in between these singles. Next. Okay, so I'll meet you here just to show you one more time, the triple. Okay, so I'm on the last one. I did my 2 singles. We don't do the picots. It's 3 on one side of 3 chain and 6, 3 on the other side. So we're going to roll 3 times on the hook. So we have 4 loops on the hook. All you have to remember is where you have the 2 big spaces here. That's where we have the 3 singles. So you come into the first single and you take out 1, 2, and 3. Hold it incomplete. And again, on the last, so we have the 3 singles, we don't touch the middle one. Take out 1, 2, and 3. And now we close it all at once. Okay, coming in to the first loop and continue again with your picots. Okay, so this pretty much does it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this pattern I've designed and created myself, even though the idea came from of the finishing, of course, from the girl that follows Vanessa. I believe her name is Sabrina. She's the one that completed the edging on the other pattern that I created, the round one. So thanks to both of them because they both were creators of the other pattern. And of course, I created my own as the oval. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll see you in the next tutorial. God bless. I'll leave all the measurements, everything below in the description box. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye. Of course, I'll have pictures and the video at the end. Also, I'll put the link to the round one in case you want to create that round centerpiece. Also, I'll put it below, and I'll put the link to the flowers. You might want to do it. If you don't want to do this type of flower and you want to do another one, just make sure you have 8 loops on the flower in order to create the granny square. Okay, thank you.